Well, hello there and welcome to issue number 103, and this issue is all about the Capricorn goat. And as you can see on the caption prior to the video, those are all the dates you have to be in this Western Eastern Zodiac combination. If there's anything you need to know, like 12 years prior to the dates, the first dates I've put up, 24, 36, 48, anything like that, any if it's yourself or any past members of the family, etc., and you would like to know if they were this combination, then please don't hesitate, drop me a line. All comments are welcome, any messages, feel free, post them on my wall, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks very much. Anyway, where do we start with the Capricorn goat? Well, as we spoke about with the goat, we have, you know, a happy-go-lucky, especially at school, you take them as a child, happy-go-lucky, a little bit eccentric, loves a smile on their face, they like to make others laugh, they make good impersonators as well, so they really do like everybody to be laughing. It's not a point of fact where they get hold of enemies at all. The only time they run into sticky water is if there is particularly other sensitive people around them that think, oh, they're taking the mickey to, you know, hurt me, which they're not. It's the goat way. They just, you know, they like a bit of banter, they do like to have a giggle, boys and girls, doesn't matter, they just really do like a practical joke as well. Well, if we add the Capricorn into the mix, so we've got to make this fusion into the one person and see what happens. Well, the Capricorn, as we know, is a complete, someone who succeeds. They are completely geared from the moment they're born to be successful, and it doesn't matter how long it takes them. They're not innovative in the sense of they're great inventors of an idea which will make them pots of money. They will take an existing idea and they improve on it. They're very traditional in that sense, where they will say, right, how can we make something that's, you know, gone so well, but it's, you know, waning off a bit, how can I improve that, get it up to speed, get it up to scratch. They're fantastic troubleshooters, chucking them in there into maybe a cosmetic company that's, you know, maybe a bit out of date, maybe, and they need to like keep up to date with the newer firms that are coming, or food halls that need a new slant on the way. They, you know, they know they've been successful, but they need someone to kickstart them again. Always get a Capricorn in, and with a Capricorn goat, what you're going to get a bit more of a less serious goat, because the goat does take life seriously. It takes their family serious. It takes looking after their money serious. It's only when you really get to know them that you really realise they have really got a great sense of humour. But it's not something that they show off to everybody. And they are really quite studious, and they plod. That's their way. They're going to the top. Yes, they'll entertain you as they go, but their goal is the top. Now with the goat, it adds in a little bit more space for variety, but also it brings that sense of humour out a lot quicker. So you're going to have a bit of a joker here, but you're going to have somebody who is a little bit light-hearted and doesn't take the pressures of succeeding to extremes. Some Capricorns can. They put so much pressure on themselves where they think, right, I've got to get there. So they tend to continually work, continually, you know, never switch off. They continue thinking of how they're going to get there. Now with the goats will add a little bit of leeway, shall we say, a little bit more of relaxed time, a little bit more of, hey, don't be so hard on yourself. There'll be a lot more open for talks. There'll be, you know, there will be a lot more of a sensitive Capricorn as well, because, okay, the Capricorn will listen, but the Capricorn's very much of, well, you know, you've made your bed, now you lie in it, or, you know, you're the one who can turn this round. So, but with the goat, there's that a little bit of sensitivity there. It doesn't make them so hard-edged. So there's a great scope for this Capricorn goat to be successful, but not in such a harsh way, whereas sometimes the Capricorn gets viewed as, You know, they don't mind how they succeed. They just want to succeed. They trample over many people doing that. They seem cold. And it's only the people really close to them that know they have got that tenderness. They are very tender for their family. But competitors, they're not. They see the competitor as, you know, friendship goes out the window, anything like that, because, you know, that's their goal in life. So with the goat in the mix, it really does add a tenderness, a little bit of tenderness, a lot more frivolity, shall we say, and they can laugh at themselves a little bit and say, well, hold on a minute, you know, I'll get there when I get there. And they tend to be quite a lot more, you know, quite a likeable character. But let's not get fooled now. The goat's not coming to this to fool it. You know, you've still got a top competitor, but they just mask it a little bit better, and they're driven slightly differently. But ultimately, this is Capricorn we're talking about, and they are going to reach the top. That's as simple as that. What they're going to reach the top in? Well, it's basically anything, and I really like the ideas of them taking over stores, putting them in as managers. Always put them in as managers, because if you try them as staff, but they're going to be very serious. They're going to get jobs done that you set them out to do. They will work overtime. They will work without pay for the good of progression. Their progression, mind you. The firm's going to benefit. So put them in as a manager, because, as I say like you've got an ailing food store, or you need a facelift or a new direction, or for them to kick the butts of some of their staff who you think have been lazy. Chuck a Capricorn in, it will be ship-shape in no time whatsoever. Boom. They're tough, but they get respect, and they will then in turn, if staff work well for them, if they respect them, if they keep their head down, they will then get rewarded. They will get rewarded, because if they see a little bit of themselves in that, they think, great, you know, that's someone for the future. So it might seem tough under a Capricorn goat working for them, but you work hard, you get noticed, and you get appreciated. If we look at their pastimes, what will they enjoy doing? Well, you're going to have a Capricorn that's a little bit sporty here as well. They're going to take the sports quite seriously. They take everything serious, I know, but with the goat there, they may be a bit more for group sports. They may like diving, aqua diving. They might like going out. They might be a bit of a, you know, a boarder. You know, they like the sea. It's quite a sea-driven combination. This is so. You know, anything like that, but there'll be groups. So, you know, as I say, the Capricorn goat has no problems in groups, where sometimes the Capricorn can be seen as a loner. With the goat in the mix, they have no problems being grouping, and so, you know, that's a good, you know, a good thing for the Capricorn. You know, sometimes they're accused of, oh, do they ever have any free time? Do they ever have any spare time, or will they switch off? Well, the goat can allow that, because the goat can go, okay, let's go off, let's go and have a crack now. They can really, you know, switch off a lot better than some of your other Capricorn combinations. So if we look at the best partners for this slightly jovial, slightly a tenderer Capricorn, then we have to look no further than the rabbits, because you're going to have somebody in the Capricorn goat that is going to guard their money. They're not going to be frivolous, because that's not going to happen. And they are going to be very good at keeping an eye on that money. I'm not saying they're mean. They'll be very generous to their family and very close friends. You know, they will genuinely help those very dear to their heart. But don't go up to them with a sob story, because they just look at you, boom, you know. If it's a genuine need for help, they will do it. So we need the rabbit in the mix here. All the rabbits are fantastic at keeping that security. We've got that security bed from the rabbit. They love their home, as we know, and they love to keep the things secure around them. Plus, they're fantastic parents. So the Capricorn, with the bit of tradition, they like going to do their work, but they like to know that the family's being well looked after in whatever way it is, or whoever they're with. Vice versa, the Capricorn, if they're left with the children, they will do a very thorough and a very precise job. So let's look at the rabbits. Under Pisces, Taurus, Virgo and Scorpio. Excellent matches for the Capricorn goats. And the other ones we need to try are the pigs. Goats and pigs have a real warmth about them, and they really genuinely share so many similarities. They enjoy private time, sexuality. It's a very sexual couple. It's a mutual respect for touch and, you know, enjoying bodies. I mean, they really do. They could spend all day in between the sheets, these two, because it's a very tender and loving match. So let's look for the pigs, and let's look for the Pisces pig, the Taurus pig, the Virgo pig, and also the Scorpio pig. Wonderful matches there. Plus, the pig's like of luxury will be well catered for by the Capricorn, because I say, from the dear to their heart, there's nothing they won't do. But sub stories from just acquaintances or anyone at work who's saying, oh, I'm it, get on with it. That's how they roll. Just get used to them, because once you get really deep down, you've unearthed a gem here. There's someone who can actually smile at themselves a bit as well, so there's a bit of give and take. Some of the Capricorns don't have that give, but this combination does. So wonderful mixes for the pigs and the rabbits. The ones for the goats to avoid, well, it has to be the oxen. And even for the Capricorn, who does like strict tempo, does like someone to be disciplined, they really appreciate all that. The goat and the oxen just don't go. So even though the Capricorn can be really quite tolerant of the oxen in some ways, the goat comes into the mix here, where they find someone who's just too inflexible. The goat's got slight flexibilities about it, so we'll be able to veer off the path slightly and lateral think, whereas the oxen likes strict tradition in the sense of, boom, we'll get it done this way. Try and tell an oxen that maybe if we try it this way to revamp the firm or re-energise it, that's where it's going to fall down. So unfortunately, oxes are out the window, and there'll just be some stubborn standoffs when these two characters, you know, go head to head. There's going to be a lot of stubbornness, and there's going to be, you know, quite a lot of clashes of heads. So let's please avoid them. If we look at health-wise, you have such a good, robust combination here with the Capricorn and the goat. Very strong. They look after themselves. They know they know the importance of moderation. Yes, they'll have a beer. Yes, they'll have, you know, a nice meal, but they moderate it. They know when they've got to work, and, you know, they'll never miss work through alcohol or, say, you know, gout or something like that, where, you know, they've overindulged. That's not going to happen with this character. You've got someone who can really temper any excesses completely, but also they're going to be expecting their partner to also respect themselves a bit as well. Okay, thank you very much for tuning in for this issue, and please join me for the next one. Thank you.